Mountain, Island, Lightning Bolt, Spell Pierce, Switchblade, Stab Wound, Red Mage, Blue Mage.
Hello, we're live.
Hello, everybody.
All right. Well, that was a good show. It's time for me to go to bed.
Wow.
Yes.
Making life easy on
sorry.
us, huh?
Well, I'm sorry, but I'm exhausted today. I don't think there is a day we've recorded or done a show where I have not felt like I could sleep. Not because I'm not. No, I'll take it back. There's been some days where I've been like super jazzed and excited, but today was one of those days where it was like, should we even do a stream today? Because I was like tanking by like 12:30. But nope, here I am.
But then we were saying that the stream will give you energy.
Well, we'll see. Depends on how you're gonna keep me entertained and awake and alive and sprightly. So it's really up to you. Because I didn't do anything today.
No, it was a very unusual day in that I did all the prep work for the show. Did I say unusual? But it's no problem. Luckily, or unluckily, depending on how you view it, the Magic the Gathering world has blessed us with a cornucopia of juicy topics to discuss.
Oh boy. I don't know any of them.
So there's been a bunch of news that came out over the last week in Magic, and I thought this is a perfect opportunity since you don't know any of it.
Yep.
You haven't looked at or read any of it. Probably haven't even looked at the show notes, which is fine.
Yep.
Evil DM Josh already knows where we're going with it.
I'm not looking at the chat. I won't spoil myself.
So we're going to be talking about news. So
okay.
Go ahead and cue the music, Johnny.
Okay, let's see if I can do it right.
Dateline, Dominaria, 4823. This is your multiverse breaking news.
I did it. I did it right this time.
Very nice.
I'm very talented.
You are. Now, let's see how talented you are. Because I was saying to you just before the show that this might be a recurring thing that we do, talking about actual Magic news in a dedicated news update. So
yeah.
I don't have a name for such a segment. You don't have to come with a name because I know you are famously not enthused about naming things.
Magic news story.
Okay, I rest my case. But I know you're
Magic bulletin. Sorry, I'm still thinking of names.
You're very talented at music. So what are you imagining for the music for that intro?
Well, I'm imagining it like it's like, a TV news show where it's like beep 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 blah 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 beep blah. This is like news, because it's like typewriters.
Mm-hmm.
People are doing the news.
Yep.
Get your news here. It's the magic news here.
Yep.
50 cents a page. Magic news here.
Yep.
That's what I'm thinking.
I was definitely thinking, 1940s announcer voice as being the central motif of this segment.
Wow, I nailed it then.
Yeah, we're on the same wavelength. So, I guess hold on. We're getting some new news right here. We need the bulletin music. We're getting a fresh news bulletin. There we go. That's all I wanted.
I was very confused. I was like, are you wanting me to do this right now?
Well,
okay.
You're probably also confused by me not being able to string two words together coherently.
Welcome to today's Red Mage, Blue Mage.
Dateline, Magic the Gathering. Double Masters announced. Wizards has announced a brand new Magic the Gathering Master Set, Double Masters. Most Master Sets focus on a specific theme. For instance, Iconic Masters was all about the most powerful cards in Magic's history. Meanwhile, Eternal Masters focused on the Legacy format. Well, Double Masters is unique in that each pack will come with 2 rare or mythic rare cards and 2 foil cards. The foil cards can be any rarity, so players could potentially open up to 4 rares with each pack. This was from Daily Esports that I was reading that news. So yeah, it's a master set called Double Masters, and the theme is double.
Golf?
What?
Golf? I don't know. That name just sounds like a like a golf thing, like double bogey,
A tradition unlike any other.
Masters Tour, double
The double Masters.
Yeah, exactly. 2 masters go head to head. Tea time. Now.
Yeah, so that's the first thing. Like, what's your comment on the name? Because you've got like Ultimate Masters, Iconic Masters, and now we've got
What the
Double
fuck
Masters.
does double masters mean? What does it mean? Is that going to get double the value? Obviously not, because Evil DM Josh says, and I quote, double masters fucking too expensive.
Yeah, I think.
How much is it?
Okay.
Do you see the price in there?
So the price is for a pack, 1 pack of this thing, $16.30.
And how many cards are in a pack? 8?
There's 15 cards.
Okay. Why'd I think 8? That's a stupid number
I don't
to
know.
choose.
How many's in there? 5?
5? 2? 2 cards?
Yeah, but so to put that, so this is part of the news with Double Masters. It is expensive, which is what Josh was saying. So ordinary packs for a long time were $4 for a booster pack.
Right. Yeah.
They still might, they're somewhere around there still. Then they introduced the Masters sets and other sort of like, not just standard cards. And they bumped that up to $10 a pack, which is already like a little expensive. Imagine sitting down to do booster drafts are expensive anyway. When you sit down for those, like an Ultimate Masters, that's like $30 just to buy your 3 packs. And if there's going to be a prize pool, it'll be like $35 or something like that. Now for this thing, if you want to sit down and draft this, you're going to be paying $48. Is that right? Does that sound right?
I don't know. I can't do math.
You're going to be paying something like that to do 1 draft of this set. Yeah.
Somebody else confirmed for us that you do math better than I do math.
So that is pricey. And actually,
Yes.
I just watched earlier today the prof giving an impassioned video about just the rising cost of Magic. Yeah?
I personally don't get this
Okay.
chasing of cards. Like, I am not a collector, I don't think. Well, you tell me. Do you know if I collect things? No, I don't ever get excited about anything. Like, to collect in a hoard.
You're not a collector, but you are a crow. You like shiny things. You like
that's
making your nest.
true.
But it's not like, I need this exact thing to complete my collection.
I have shells
Right.
that I have all strewn about me. But yeah, I guess I kind of understand, speaking of shells, I guess I kind of understand like the hunt of finding something cool and like the off chance, but shells are just the leftover carcasses of mollusks that live out in the world, and I don't have to really, I mean, I pay for the trip to go down and do it, but it's a side benefit, not like the whole reason of the trip.
Well, I view like Magic cards collecting more along the lines of like Pappy Van Winkle, like the super rare bourbon, where it's like there's nothing special you have to do to get it. Like, well,
There is. You have to be on a list.
Yeah, and you have to know the right people. For Magic, though, it's just like, do you have money? Like, if you have the money, you can buy the cards. You can spend more money on packs, and you can open more, and you can get more. So it's nothing. I don't think there's any like real sense of pride about, ooh, this is my collection, until you get up into the absurd stuff like the Moxes and the Lotus, and that turns into Pappy Van Winkle territory, where it's like, you have to know the right people, you have to know someone who's willing to sell, and you have to have a lot of money.
Right. And that is not an appealing aspect of Magic to me.
Agreed.
Like, I would not ever do a double Masters booster. I probably would never buy any of the packs. I am not the intended market for this set.
I think it's...
And I
Go ahead.
think it's kind of smart, like, from a business point perspective, it's completely smart to do this. I mean, why wouldn't you? If you are Wizards and Hasbro, like, this is like, people out there want this stuff.
Right.
And there are the people who have money. So it's like, I get why they would do it.
Sure.
It's just not for me.
Sure.
This is not the part of Magic that I would be into.
Right. I think, I am very sympathetic because we've talked about before people making these complaints that's like, Wizards is just a company that wants to sell you more cards for more money. And it's like, yeah, no shit.
Duh. If I could just print out a bunch of shit in my house that people like would buy, I would just keep doing that.
Right.
And I would just make it more and more exclusive and highbrow and whatever because people want it.
Yeah.
And then people will pay money for it.
I think that too. I remember, so this is a weird connection, but I remember, I think it was Oblivion that had the DLC horse armor back in the day. This was like one of the first instances of DLC in a video game that you paid for separately from the main game. And people like lost their minds over it, like being like, this is a ripoff, this is garbage, like this should be in the game originally. But it's like, but people bought it. And it's like, if people are willing to buy it, then that means it has value. They're allowed to sell it. And if it really does piss you off, you can just not buy it. And if enough people don't buy it,
Evil DM Josh bought the horse armor. At first I was confused by Oblivion. Like my brain was like, I was like, oh, never mind. I remember now. Elder Scrolls Oblivion. Got it. I'm good. I'm there now.
Right.
I forgot about that.
Well, the thing is, like, I mean, DLC is a normal thing now. There's evil versions of it and less evil versions of it. Like, I unlock skins. I've spent God knows how much money on League of Legends skins over the...
Well, we've talked about it before. Like, I, use the line chat application, and you can purchase stickers in it, digital stickers, and I've spent probably close to $40-50 on stickers for a chat application.
A free chat application, yeah.
But it's stickers that people are actually creating themselves, so they're creator stickers, not the actual application. You can get the branded application stickers, or you can go and look at people who've created their own. So it's like you're supporting an artist.
I was going to say, and also it's not bad to support the creators of the app, because if you don't do that, it dies.
Right. They need something to be giving them money to continue supporting their...
So it's not a bad thing for Wizards to be making money from the cards.
Capitalism.
That is a good thing, actually, because otherwise you don't get Magic cards anymore. That being said, chat also is pointing out here, I like how to say chat. It's Josh. Josh is king.
Josh. Josh is our only chat person.
We love you, Josh. I was gonna say, yeah, the other like noteworthy thing about this is that in their announcement of Double Masters, they explicitly said, we are not reprinting fetch lands in this set. That'll be later. So still no fetch lands.
Okay, whatever. They're holding it back.
They have promised there will be more fetch lands that will be printed this year. But
okay.
So this ties into what I was thinking previously. Like, it's not a problem that they're charging a little bit more until you combine it with the fact that part of the point of sets like these are to repopulate cards that people need to play their decks. And now here are the cards that people need. We're making it expensive to buy these packs. And so you're trying to get some rare that you need that is not printed anywhere, so you have to buy a bunch of packs to try to crack it. It's, it kind of works against that part of it.
Yep. Wow. Okay. Magic.
Okay. So, we're getting another bulletin here. Along the same lines, new announcement coming in from the mothership, Magic the Gathering. Announcing Secret Lair, Summer Super Drop. Summer's finally come to the Northern Hemisphere. The sun is shining, birds are singing. Our future robot overlords are laying the foundation for their eventual dominion. Wait, what? That's right, the time has come to unveil Secret Lair, Summer Super Drop. So this is a super drop, and they explain what that is. And basically, it's when they first did Secret Lair back in winter, they released like 5 sets all at once, right?
Yep.
That's a super
Yep.
drop.
I bought the goblins.
Right. So this is another one of those 5 different sets.
Are there gonna be goblins?
Well, let me tell you what the different themes are. So there is Full Sleeves, the tattoo pack. So these are just cards that have the artwork is like tattoo art.
That's pretty cool.
Yep. I don't think it has any cards you would want, though. The cards are
Probably not.
Ink Moth Nexus, Pything Needle, Eternal Witness, Blood Artist, and Spell Pierce.
Nope.
Also, I'm not crazy about the art there, but hey, more power to you.
Teach their own. Is it traditional tattoo?
Yeah, I'd say so. This looks like, to me, these look like what you would see in somebody's catalog of like stuff you can pick out for free. Like one of the Pything needles,
like a flash tattoo.
right?
Yeah.
So the Pything needle is literally a skull with a sword going through it and a flower. So very traditional.
Okay. Cool.
Next is Can You Feel with a Heart of Steel? That's a little clunky.
Can you feel
With a
the
heart
heart of steel?
Oh, can I share a story really quick?
Okay, go ahead.
Speaking of Lion King, so I'm staying during quarantine with my brother and sister-in-law, and my brother. We always give each other movie quotes all the time, and what was the quote? Matt gave a quote, and it was I remember. Matt's quote was, "I laugh in the face of danger, ha 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 ha," and he's like, "Quick, what movie?" And Veronica, A, couldn't get it, didn't get the movie. But B was like, I can see it. It's like a kid's movie. It's got like lions.
It's got lions, and it's a kids movie.
There's like kings and queens in there.
Dumbo.
Anyway, sorry.
That's funny.
So this one has Arcbound Ravager, Darksteel Colossus, and Walking Ballista as like giant mech or monsters, or it's kind of in the Ikoria, Godzilla range. Yeah, I don't. Whatever. Then we've got the Path Not Traveled, which is 4 planeswalkers with alternate art. Yeah, not crazy about those. Here's one you might actually like. This one's called Mountain Go.
Okay.
It is 4 different full art lightning bolts. Don't know if you'll be crazy about the art style, but very interesting nonetheless. Then we've got ornithological studies. So we've got 5 different birds. Again, art I'm not crazy about. Looks like they used real world birds in this case. Whatever.
It's for birders. It's for avid birders. People who are... Is that what they called?
Birders?
Birders?
No way.
Bird connoisseurs?
Birdists.
Yeah.
Foul mouths.
Foulmans?
Foul mouths.
Foul mouth.
Okay.
From Scout lore?
Not that I know, but maybe I'm behind.
Okay, whatever.
Okay, so anyway, another super drop.
I like that kind of stuff. I would love to see more alternate art. I would pay more money for, like I did with the goblins.
Right.
Like, one, I needed those goblin cards anyway.
Sure.
But the art style was super cool, right up my fucking alley. I love him. I love him in my commander deck. And I think especially this is really good and aimed for people who do commander.
Yeah.
Except for the set for Lightning Bolt.
You're trying
do
to
a play
bling
set.
out your deck, basically.
Yeah, and it's like, and we talked about it early on and constantly what makes Magic cool is that it's very customizable to you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I have all my lands in my commander deck are all picked out lands that I like, art-wise. And so it's like, and my goblins, like the goblins I got are great. I like that. And I would love to like bling out my deck more. It's this very me thing. It's almost like a charm bracelet. Like I get the same feeling I get when I was putting together my Italian charm bracelet as a kid, like in high school.
Sure.
So I really like that. And
You're making these choices to express yourself.
And I support these Secret Lair, and I really would love to see more of that, because I paid, I can't remember how much I paid for the goblins, but like they were good goblin cards and had cool art.
Right.
And I think the tattoo one is a really cool idea to do as well. I think these is a great set to do for people who are customizing their commander decks.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, this is the version I
brawl
like
decks
of these, where it's like, as you're saying, this is just a way to self-express, to bling out your deck a little bit, to show a little bit of your personality. The version I don't like is, here are necessary cards that should be
Right.
reprinted and made widely available, but we're just going to charge you $50 or $100 or whatever it is for them. Not cool.
Yeah, no, not cool.
The only other comment I really had about Secret Lair and combining with Double Masters is like I feel I've watched videos and listened to podcasts from like Magic creators in general, and it's just like I feel so bad for them. They must be so exhausted just trying to keep up with all this stuff that gets released.
The content creators?
Yeah.
Or, yeah, I was going to say, I feel sorry for freaking anybody who, like, they are very aggressive with their release cycle.
Yes.
Like, I was just thinking about the other day where it's like, Ikoria just came out, and there already is, like, spoilers for another, like, I think it was the Ultimate, I don't even know what it was.
Spoilers for Double Masters, spoilers for more Secret Layers, like...
It's just like,
Can I enjoy Ikoria for a minute?
I mean, I don't, but that's beyond, that's besides the point. But, like, that's what I'm saying. It's like, it just seems so, like, aggressive, and I feel like this is a broader subject. It's making me wonder about like how we are as consumers anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think, are they trying to keep up with this mass consumer, like just eat it up and then they go on to the next thing. They just gobble it up and they go on to the next thing. And I think there are people out there who are a lot like that, binge watchers. But I was just also thinking about a thing I saw on Twitter for an artist where recently we're making this an Animal Crossing podcast slowly, but there was a little like art challenge going on where in the game there's a dog that's called KK Slider and he plays music and he's an artist, like a famous music artist, and people were redrawing real life album art using KK Slider in the album art.
Uh-huh.
And somebody said, like, apologized. It had only been like a week and a half, 2 weeks. Hey, I thought I would put this out now. Here's my KK Slider art. Sorry I'm a little late, guys. And it's like, it's been 2 weeks.
Right.
You're not late, and you shouldn't feel like you're late, and you shouldn't be apologizing.
Right.
Like, come on, calm down. This thing has only been in the...
It's so true, though. Like, something will be released. Like, we just announced, here's this Pokemon gym coach in this new game. And, like, 5 minutes later, somebody has, like, a fully rendered, beautiful painting of them.
Yeah. It's just ridiculous. I feel like, is our companies like Wizards of the Coast trying to keep up the same way that these artists are trying to keep up with trends and stuff that are out there? And honestly, it makes me like very mentally mushy. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't have time to sit and appreciate what's in front of me because I'm already being told it's irrelevant. We've moved on to the next thing. Like right now, there's this thing going around. I'm an artist, graphic designer, and I do illustration. So I follow a lot of artists and illustrators on Twitter. And right now there's a lot of screen cap redraws happening. And one of them being a Sailor Moon, like, screen cap.
Right.
And I'm seeing everybody draw it. And I'm like, oh no, I'm not going to do, and I've caught myself, I'm not going to do it because I'm not going to get it done in time. And it's like,
In time for what?
in time for what? Basically I'm saying before the fad is out.
Before the meme dies.
Right, exactly. Before
Which
the
is
challenge dies.
a pretty short, like, half-life. Right. You have, like, a week.
Yeah. So anyway, that's my out of Magic, bigger thought of how we are as a society and how we consume and our media and our entertainment.
I think
it's
funny because we've talked about similar concepts before when they're talking about all the Secret Lair drops, and I was making the point of, like, it's kind of mentally exhausting for me where it keeps coming out. At the time, you were like, oh, you old man, you getting tired of, go back, play the tape back, play the footage.
What are you talking about?
The curtain is drawn aside. Josh is there with a TV.
And it's me on repeat going, "You old man, let things come out when they want to come out."
But I'm glad. I think it is kind of exhausting. Like, I love spoiler season. I love getting hyped up about the new cards coming out. But
yeah.
I feel like I'm not having enough time to recharge my excitement as much anymore. Like, normally when, like, a set like Double Masters would come out, I would be looking at the spoilers every day to see what else has been revealed. I haven't even looked. I looked at the announcement and saw few pieces. I can't sustain that level of excitement. I think that's partially, I think what Wizards is trying to do is find the line of how much can we put out without killing the excitement.
Right.
And so they need to go over that line first, and then they'll dial it to where they need it to be. Okay. Are you ready for our next piece of news? This will be our last story that we cover.
Sure.
Oh, another bulletin coming in.
Boop.
Oh.
What was that?
She's not excited anymore.
Boop, ba-da-doop, boop.
Okay, so
Boop.
I'll read a bit from this article. This is from thegamer.com. This one has some spin on it, so you can interpret it as you wish, okay?
Okay.
So the title of this article is WotC has just destroyed the integrity of competitive Magic.
Okay.
Pretty bold, huh?
That's a bold statement.
Okay, so I'll read a few paragraphs here just to give the general story. Today has been a day filled with drama in the world of Magic the Gathering, following the ban of well-known competitive player Austin Bursavich by WotC from all formats of play. So, permabanned for life from all formats.
A player, a person.
Yes. While Bursavich can be a polarizing figure in the game community, the reason for his ban appears to be rooted in revealing a lack of competitive integrity for upcoming tournaments, and WotC does not seem to be able to handle controversy well. Troubling information revealed. Details are still emerging about precisely what has occurred, but for now it appears that WotC provided its own Magic Pro League, so like the top players that they pick, with crucial information on the change in competitive format, and used their standard non-disclosure agreements to ensure that non-NPL players would not be made aware of this information for weeks to come, which destroys any supposed competitive integrity in the tournaments to come and provides NPL players with a significant advantage. So basically the pro players are divvied up into two groups, like this Magic Pro League, which is handpicked by WotC. These are the people we want to highlight, and everybody else. And so they gave the NPL players extra information about what was changing weeks ahead of time and had them sign NDA so nobody outside the NPL could know.
Okay.
All right, so back to the story. An unnamed member of the NPL leaked the details to Bursavich, who is not under any NDA. Bursavich then revealed this information online, and WotC demanded to know his source. When Bursavich refused to reveal his informant, WotC issued what appears to be a permaban from all forms of the game, be it paper or online. As one might expect, reaction to the ban has largely been negative, regardless of how one feels about Bursavich. So I'll stop reading it there. That's the gist of the story.
One, why would an entity give a special group of players information beforehand, and like a large amount? I'm assuming it's dozens?
Yes, dozens.
20s? Okay, dozens of people. Because I don't pay attention to the competitive Magic world.
You're not
I don't
a competitive
watch that.
player yourself.
I'm not a competitive player myself, so this is a really weird
World.
world for me. So if I'm understanding it correctly, there's an entity that is, I don't know, whatever. They gave information to a group of people and said, hush, dozens.
Right.
Which is, in my opinion, stupid.
Yeah.
Like, I would never, ever do that. Like,
oh, that's what I was reading a bunch of different things, and one person, their very first comment was like, not only an immoral move, but a bad immoral move, because it's like, this will get leaked.
Like, why would, like, we've talked about leaks before. It's like, you know, it's like you want to do outside play testing with people.
Right.
But then you know that the more people you have played, it just takes one person to go, oh yeah, to a friend, I did X, I played X, and then pretty soon it's a rumor mill, and all of a sudden it's out there.
So it was bound to get leaked.
Duh. Even with an NDA,
right.
And then of course, the person who they're gonna tell somebody who isn't under an NDA, and it's gonna get fucking leaked.
Yep. Yeah. So, an immoral act that was badly executed.
Yeah, it's like, one, why the fuck would you do that in the first place? Two, why the fuck would you, like, do it with... Why would you do it in the first place, and why would you just do it?
So what?
With
you're
dozens
saying-
of people.
So one of your questions, I think, is what was the motivation for Wizards to do this?
Do what?
To tell this one group ahead of time.
Yeah.
So
why?
So the idea is, and this is like, tinfoil hat, but I think there's something to it. I mean, like you're saying, why would they do it otherwise? This group of players that they handpick are popular streamers and popular figures in the community. And
Okay.
Wizards has a vested interest in these people doing well because it means that they have stars that they can bank on and like make jerseys for and merchandise for and feature in the booth and build popularity of the game.
That's
So
fucking disgusting.
so it's important for them
I hate
for this
it.
group to do well. So they gave them a competitive edge secretly
Wow.
and signed them under NDAs.
That's just disgusting. That pisses me off.
Yeah.
That just pisses me off on a very like immoral, like this. It's disgusting. Like you are giving people a competitive edge. Honestly, not only should the person who leaked something be banned, great, wonderful. The person who leaked it to that person should also be banned, and also
You think they
this
should?
group.
Like-
They're under fucking NDA.
Well, Bursevich wasn't.
No, but I think he should be as well. Like was he report? Okay, let me ask you this: was he reporting journalistically, like as a like I found out this information and I'm exposing this group for the competitive edge?
It was done as like a whistleblower, as like, this is
Then
shady. I am
Okay.
calling it out. And Wizard said, who leaked this to you? And he says, I'm not going to reveal my source. And then they
okay,
banned him.
Then I take it back. As a whistleblower, I'm happy that he did it because that is fucking disgusting.
Right.
So I don't think he should be banned, but they
Yeah.
shouldn't be doing that in the first place.
Yeah, very
They
clearly.
should not be doing that. That is disgusting.
Yep. Yeah, I think, I don't even, like, the person who leaked it, presumably, well, who knows why. Maybe they did it just in
Yeah,
passing.
what their motivation,
Or maybe they
yeah.
did it because they're like, this isn't
This
right.
is just right. Yeah.
Please don't reveal me.
Right. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe they all had actually good like conscience about what's happening.
Well, he also said, I believe Bursevich is on record as saying that multiple MPL people, prominent MPL players, leaked it to him. So I think, there are a lot of like good, upstanding people in the MPL.
Yeah.
I think that they probably got that information. Were like, this is fucked up. I am gonna take a risk and hope that this guy, and then this poor guy is just getting martyred.
Yeah. No, I think that's wrong. I think everybody should be yelling at the organization.
Yeah, for sure. Caveat here: I've seen in this article that this Austin Bursevich is a polarizing figure. I don't know what that's about. So
Yeah, I don't even know who this is. That's why I
put an asterisk on that if he's also like a racist or if he's got something else. I'm just commenting
Right.
on this situation.
Yeah, only this. Like
Don't know anything else.
that's why I said for me, like at first that's why I took it back when I said it was like, oh, he did it as a whistleblowing act. Then, yes, then I thought you were saying he was leaking more of that information to other people for competitive reasons.
No.
Not as a whistleblower. So if he was doing it as a whistleblower, I'm okay with that.
No.
Like,
He
fuck that.
He went public with it, and then he said, it's a very interesting thing. He's being pretty snarky with him. He said, I have prominent people in the NPL who leaked this information, multiple. And then Wizards asked who it was, and he snarkily named like fictional characters and like basically saying, I'm not gonna say anything. Fuck you.
Right. God, that's wrong. I hate that kind of shit so much. It's like, I mean, it's if you want to like do the equivalent of like if you're going to think about like actual like physical sports,
Right.
It's like the equivalent of steroids. It's like you're getting performance enhancing information.
Right.
You should not,
Right.
be allowed to hand that to people,
Or-
especially if they're going to be competing with other.
Or it's
people.
like bribing the officials or something, or like
Right.
or like the league basically saying to officials, you're going to call this game this way because it's important for us for this team to do well this season.
Because we want to sell more jerseys.
Right,
Because
exactly.
we want to line our pockets with more cash.
Yeah, it's pretty lame. And it's
Lame.
like, and it's like, I mean, I think it's going to backfire. I don't like, you are shaking confidence in people that what they're watching is legitimate and fair and actually competitive.
Right. There's a difference between wrestling and like football.
Right.
Like one thing is obviously a performance
Right, exactly.
and characters.
Wrestling,
even though there is,
you as a viewer are entering this like contract where it's like, I am suspending my disbelief. I know this is all fake, but that's fine.
Yes, and it's, I mean, yeah, like the whole, wrestling is a world that I would love to take a little dive into, because it would be a wealth of inspiration for NPCs.
Yeah, very true.
Oh my gosh, I would love, like, my brother is into, or was into a lot of wrestling stuff, and he'd tell me the ridiculous stories of these characters, and I'm like,
that's the thing. I
love it.
I knew nothing about wrestling. I had a grad school friend who was super into it. He was as a kid, and he still was. And it was very interesting hearing him talk about like what it was that he loved about it so much.
Right. Anyway, what I was getting at was, wrestling we buy into. We, the audience,
knowing
are aware
that it's not
of
really
it.
a competition.
Right, and then football or Magic the Gathering, where you think people are on an even playing field with all the same information, going to play against each other.
One last tiny bit of news that I just remembered to go along with this and Wizards mishandling esports shit.
Sure.
They made the announcement that through the end of the year, they just went ahead and said there's not going to be any in-person events. It's all going to be moved to Arena. Mm-hmm. And so there are people who only play in paper, they're on Arena. And they're like, so are we going to get unlocked accounts where we have access to all the cards? And Wizards said no. And there's not enough time to build up your collection before events are coming up. Whole community was outraged. They retracted it. They unlocked accounts for the people who are in the circuit. But it's just like, who is in charge over there? Like, you are just mishandling things so badly.
Right. Like, who is your community? Like, okay, just my experience, right? Like, I've talked about work stuff on the show before, where it's like, it's just somebody who is just doesn't understand from a very like micro, like a macro, like a tiny level of like what happens, or understands the true community. It's always some like most of the times it's some far off executive who's like, well, we'll just do X.
Right.
And then you have somebody goes, well, we can't really do X like that, and they're like, no, you have 5 days to figure X out.
Right.
And then it's like, oh, okay, great. So.
And some of the stuff just seems so, you're probably right. I mean, I think the person who said, they have to unlock their accounts themselves, they can't be someone who plays Arena. Like, as Josh is definitely figuring out now, as you are, like, unlocking cards without paying for them is, like, brutally slow.
Tedious. It's incredibly tedious.
Yeah. So that was just insane.
Like, here's your whole community who's been doing all this stuff paper only, and you're like, fuck you.
Yeah. Exactly. And it also
we don't care how much money you've spent, how dedicated you've been, and like you spent 25 years playing the game.
Right.
Fuck you.
It definitely makes me think as well that their esports division doesn't have a lot of people who are from the esports industry, because this is just like 101. Like, your pro players get fully unlocked accounts, every skin, like they have it all. One, because of course they should. But two, duh, Wizards, it's in your advantage for your players to be showing off all your cool shit. Like, give them all the crazy card sleeves, give them all the foils, give them all the alternate art, so that when I, the viewer, am watching, I was like, oh man, I love that artwork. Like, Josh is saying, clearly they only care about money. There's a good way to care only about money.
Yeah, I know. If you're smart... You care about money only, but you don't realize that you could make more money if you like gave a shit about the people who are spending money on your product. Like,
I agree with Ryan.
Welcome to the new world.
I mean, I agree with Ryan Spain, who is an ex-employee of Wizards, where he's like, I want to make money for Wizards by making a game that is so awesome that my players want to give me their money. Like, I want to make my
Right.
my customers so damn happy that they want to give me their money.
And then they'll just always be spending money on your thing
Right.
forever. I mean, that's why Magic's lasted so for goddamn long.
Yeah.
Like, good lord, people love the game so much, and it means so much to people that, you know, it's one of those things where I get like side tangent, but still related, where it's like people don't realize that there is a huge benefit to being at least somewhat empathetic to your consumer base.
Yeah.
Like, and not just like that cheesy, like offhand empathy where it's like, oh yes, we care about you,
Right.
and then do something
the-
that's half-hearted.
Right.
Like, it's in Wizards' benefit. Like, if they were smart, they hire really good community managers and people who think about and who will love the game and want to take care of the game, and they need to fucking trust those people that they hired for those expert
The hilarious thing
skills.
to me, though, as well, is like I agree with you 100%. But
Yeah.
like they could just watch the YouTube videos, just listen to podcasts. Like, players will tell you ad nauseum. Like, we are telling ad nauseum like what we're looking for. And I know there's
Right.
like where you come from, you do have to interpret that because you can't
Right.
just like maybe some of the things that we players say we want would wreck the game.
Right. Well, but also, like, holy shit, like, you're talking about how, like, they could just go, like, they could listen to our podcast, they can go on to any one of the other YouTube content creators
Yeah.
things, and what fucking amazing opportunity they get, people who are just willingly
Yeah.
handing them
Generating
feedback,
content. Yeah.
generating content, but also giving you amazing effing feedback. Like,
Right.
nobody in mind is, well, there are people
Yeah,
who
I
will do
remember.
reviews.
But it's not
But,
like people
like-
are like have like podcasts and YouTube videos and Twitch streams where they're just like pouring out what they think.
Car seats. Car seats. I mean, I'm sure there's probably some.
Welcome to Car Seat Talk.
Well, you know what? I've met car seat advocates. They are a very passionate group
Yes, that's
of people, and I would not hold it like there are probably
but it's
child infant safety podcasts.
but just
out
comparing
there
the size of that industry to
to Magic the Gathering, right? Whew.
so yeah. Anyway, I think a good closing note is Wizards, please. I want you to make money too. Get back in the mindset that you want to make money by making me and Amber in particular extremely happy.
More goblins, please. More secret lair goblins, please.
More-
a goblin set.
more-
An Eldrazi set.
More specific counter spells that counter red spells or goblin spells.
You don't have to listen to Kenny.
All right.
It's okay.
You don't have to. More sci-fi movie references.
Movie references,
says Echo.
yes.
Yeah, I think
Yes.
those probably have done very well for them, so I would expect more.
Yes.
All right. You got anything else to
All
say
right.
before we sign off?
No.
All right. This just in. This episode's over. I've got the counterspell up.
Wait, am I supposed to say something?
Yeah.
I have nothing. What are you waiting? You waiting for something fantastic? I got nothing.
that was great. I was just imagining when I go to edit, putting sad violin music over that long pause.
You should. You definitely should. I have nothing.
Follow us at RedBlueMTG on Twitter. We'll talk to you next time. Hey!
Wait, are we not saying who we are and all that stuff?
I did that.
Whatever. Okay, fine. I'm gonna end this. You better mute yourself so no one hears you. All right, we're gonna bye now.